Oregon just passed a law that could turn you into a criminal for simply owning what you already have. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that something you legally owned just yesterday is now a felony. That's exactly what happened with Senate Bill 243. Starting on September 26, 2025, this bill flipped Oregon's gun laws on their head. If you own specific devices or accessories, you might be in legal trouble right now, even without doing anything wrong. This is a serious matter, and the implications for gun owners in Oregon are far-reaching. In today's video, we're diving into everything SB 243 affects. What's banned, what counts as a rapid-fire activator, and what it means for gun owners like you. Stay tuned as we break down the changes, and make sure to stick around for our tips on what you can do to protect yourself before it's too late. Chapter 1. SB 243. Oregon's legal overhaul, SB 243, isn't just a minor tweak to gun regulations. This bill redefines your rights under the Second Amendment in ways you might not expect. It changes everything you thought you knew about gun ownership in Oregon. Most people didn't notice when it quietly came into effect on September 26, 2025. But if you're an Oregon gun owner, it's time to wake up because your rights just got much more restricted, and that includes the legal status of certain firearm accessories. The law doesn't just regulate sales or transport. It criminalizes owning specific firearm accessories that you may already possess. That's right, owning certain devices is now a crime, even if you haven't used them. It's a huge shift, and thousands of gun owners are unknowingly breaking the law without even realizing it. This is particularly dangerous because ignorance of the law won't protect you from criminal charges. SB 243 doesn't just tweak old rules, it's a complete overhaul of how Oregon treats your Second Amendment rights. Now, not only can you face legal consequences for actions, but simply having the wrong accessories in your possession could lead to a felony charge. The law also opens the door for broad interpretations by law enforcement, leaving the average citizen unsure of what is actually considered legal. Chapter 2. What exactly is a rapid-fire activator? Under SB 243, the term rapid-fire activator covers a wide range of devices, many of which have been legal for years. Bump stocks, binary triggers, and trigger cranks are now explicitly banned. But here's the catch. The law doesn't define rapid clearly, leaving a lot of room for interpretation by law enforcement. What does this mean for you? If you own a device like a bump stock, simply having it could land you in trouble, even if you've never used it. This is a major concern, especially because vague definitions mean police can interpret your accessories as illegal, regardless of intent. And it gets worse. You don't even have to use these devices to face criminal charges. Simply possessing one could be enough. This new category of rapid-fire activators broadens the scope of what's banned, covering devices that increase the rate of fire of semi-automatic firearms. What was once legal, even for years, is now considered illegal under this new law. The biggest problem? The law doesn't provide a clear definition of what constitutes rapid fire, leaving law enforcement with the ability to interpret what's banned based on their own understanding. It creates a dangerous precedent that can catch even the most law-abiding citizens off guard. Chapter 3. Misdemeanors and Felonies. Know the stakes. SB 243 introduces serious penalties, including the potential for felony charges. A misdemeanor for owning a banned item could mean a fine and short jail time, but a felony for transporting or selling these items could send you to prison for up to 10 years, with fines of $250,000. And here's the kicker. You don't need to be caught in the act of using the device. Just possessing one in your home or car could be enough to land you in jail. The law is a trap, and it's crucial to understand the penalties before you act. If you're caught with a banned device, the legal consequences are severe, and you don't even need to have used the device. Simply owning it can land you behind bars. The penalties for violating this law are serious. A Class A misdemeanor could come with a fine, a prison sentence of up to 64 days, and other costly penalties. But that's nothing compared to the consequences of a felony charge. If you're found transporting or selling one of these banned devices, you could face a decade-long prison sentence and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines. These are harsh consequences for something that was once legal and innocent. Chapter 4. Concealed. Carry gets even more complicated. If you already have a concealed handgun license, CHL, the changes to SB 243 are going to make things trickier. Local governments now have more power to ban CHL carry in certain public spaces, even if you're licensed. Expect to see more gun-free zones pop up across Oregon. These new restrictions limit where you can legally carry your firearm, even with a permit. What does this mean for you? It's no longer just about whether you're carrying a weapon legally. It's about where you're allowed to carry it. This law could put restrictions on your ability to protect yourself, especially in areas where you thought you were legally allowed to carry. Even if you have the proper license, your ability to exercise your rights is shrinking. These new rules make it harder for concealed carry holders to legally protect themselves, creating more gun-free zones that are growing by the day. These changes to concealed carry rules are a clear shift towards tighter control over where and when you can exercise your rights. Local governments will now be able to restrict the right to carry in more places, even private property. This represents a significant erosion of the freedoms that concealed carry license holders have enjoyed until now. Expect more legal battles and political pressure on the state to either expand or further limit your concealed carry rights. Chapter 5. Timelines and deadlines you can't afford to miss. So, when do these changes take effect? The truth is, they're already here. SB 243 went into effect in late 2025, but there are still more changes coming in March 2026. In just a few months, you'll need a permit to buy a firearm in Oregon, and gun stores will have to verify your permit status before making any sales. If the permit system fails, this could effectively turn into a de facto ban on gun ownership. The state is putting into place a licensing system for firearms. This will require people to go through a lengthy process to get a permit before they can purchase a gun. The biggest risk here is that if the system fails, or the state doesn't provide the proper resources to manage it, the process could turn into a backdoor ban on firearms in Oregon. People who want to legally purchase a firearm could be left in limbo, unable to buy a gun for months or longer. These delays could make it practically impossible for many residents to obtain firearms, despite having the legal right to do so. Chapter 6. What about buying a gun? Will you need a license? Starting in 2026, you won't be able to buy a firearm in Oregon unless you first apply for a permit. This isn't just a background check. It's an entirely new license that you'll need to secure before purchasing any gun. It's a big step toward limiting access to firearms, and if the system isn't set up in time, it could delay or even prevent you from purchasing weapons legally. This will create even more hurdles for those trying to buy a gun legally. It's no longer enough to pass a background check. In Oregon, you'll have to jump through additional hoops, including fingerprinting, paying fees, and going through mandatory training before you're even allowed to purchase a firearm. These steps will make it harder for residents to exercise their right to bear arms, especially for those who don't have the time or resources to go through the lengthy process. Chapter 7. How these laws are a blueprint for other states. Oregon isn't alone in adopting these kinds of laws. Other states like Washington and California have been considering similar legislation, and Oregon's SB 243 could be the template for nationwide gun restrictions. If this law stands up in court, we may see it spread, causing even more restrictive laws in other states. Oregon is now setting the stage for other states to follow. Washington, California, and several other states have been watching closely to see how this law unfolds. If SB 243 is upheld in court, it could provide a legal blueprint for other states to adopt similar laws, creating a patchwork of restrictions across the country. This could lead to a nationwide crackdown on gun ownership, restricting your ability to exercise your Second Amendment rights. The threat isn't just limited to Oregon. It could spread to neighboring states and beyond. Chapter 8. What can you do right now? It's time to act. First, inventory your firearms and accessories to make sure you're not unknowingly breaking the law. If you own banned devices, consider removing them from Oregon before more lawsuits hit. Stay informed about the permit system rollout in March 2026, and don't wait to apply for your license. It's up to you to protect your rights, so don't wait. The battle is bigger than Oregon. It's about protecting your Second Amendment rights from legal suffocation nationwide. Don't wait until it's too late to act. Get proactive today. Take steps to ensure that you're not caught in a legal battle that could cost you your freedom and your right to own a firearm. The laws are changing fast, and you need to stay ahead of the curve to protect your rights.